everyone, it's Rebecca and I'm coming to you here from my home library today to talk to you about homeschooling curriculum, the history edition. I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. My oldest has graduated. I have an 11th grader, a 7th grader, and a 5th grader now. And this is our 15th year homeschooling, so we've been doing this a while. And I just want to share with you some of the history curriculums that we've used over the years and ones that we've really enjoyed. And so maybe it can help you. I know that when you're picking out homeschooling curriculum, it can be very, very overwhelming because there's just so much to choose from. I often get people ask, what curriculum do you use? And I use a variety of things, so feel free to skip around and try different things. You don't have to just stick with one particular thing and use all that's in that curriculum, all the subjects or whatever. If you like the math and you don't like the history, switch it up, change it up, do what works for your family. So I just want to show you some of the things that's worked for us over the years. So when my oldest was just getting into school and just getting started, I was trying out different things, and a lot of times I would buy a lot of used curriculum, just stuff that you could find here and there. If you go to any used bookstores, a lot of times they will have a homeschool curriculum, and you can find stuff for pretty cheap. And so some of the stuff I used early on was just like, this is a Becca history. This is like a second grade history, and it's just got some basic knowledge. It's got just some little stories, and then it may have questions in it and that sort of thing. So I would just use that with her especially when I just had like the one mostly that I was homeschooling. This is a 4th grade edition. This is the history of the United States. It's a lot more reading. We would read that together, or I might have her read it and do some of the questions. Usually by this time, I think I had several kids, and so we would read it together and do the stuff there. This has got the answer key to it right here. So we might just do something like that. Or we might just read books about history. When your kids are little, I highly recommend you just do lots and lots of reading. You can get science in that way. You can get history. So much is incorporated through reading. And so that's what I recommend. If you want to have a curriculum, you can get something like this that's simple, and do a lesson a week or a couple lessons a week or whatever, and that works really good. So like I said, and I think I bought these just used, or somebody even gave them to me. But Becca is it's a great curriculum if you want to use that. So one of the ones that we got into several years ago when my boys were like elementary age was Story of the World. There is 4 editions of this, and it literally reads like a storybook. It really doesn't even have a whole lot of pictures in this book, and it reads like a story, and they absolutely loved it. There's 4 editions of these, and so you do one every year, and then it has tests and activities and things like this. This book has has lots of activities, just fun little stuff. A lot of it's stuff you're already going to have on hand, and that's what we loved about it. They love doing just fun little games and activities. And then it's got coloring pages and maps in the back, so you can run those off for each one of your kids. It even has, like, you make these little books and stuff, and you can and little cards, so you can go back and it'll help them remember the timeline and the different things of what's going through. So and it's very economical as well. I want to say these books are like $12 to $15 or so, and I think these were like 25 or 30. It might have been used when I got that used. That might have been what it was. But this is a really great curriculum. A lot of people love it, so you can often find it used in like those homeschool curriculum groups and things like that. And like I said, this had 4 volumes, and we ended up doing all 4 of them because they loved it so much. They will still tell me stories. This was years ago that we used this. They will still tell me stories that I read to them out of this because they loved it so much and they remembered it that much. So I don't have all the curriculum here for Sunlight, but that was a great curriculum also. It is a reading-based curriculum, so basically you'll have read alouds that you'll read to your kids, and then you'll have they have readers that they read, and it takes you through the course of history with these readers, and it's amazing. We did that one year, and it's great, especially good for when you're doing something with a lot of kids, because you can kind of adapt it to different age levels, and I love that. So I would oftentimes even check their websites for just their read alouds, just because they had such good readers and stuff like that when I was looking for something. And so that's a great resource. Check them out if you're looking for that type of a curriculum. It's really good. And like I said, even if you're just wanting to look at good read alouds to have on hand to go with your current with your current history curriculum. That's a good thing to look at also. So like I said, we did that one year and it was really good. Then we kind of got into Knotgrass history. So this is America the Beautiful. This is their middle school edition, and we just really liked it. Now I did find that it was a little bit much to read aloud because it's every day that you would read it, and it was a little bit much for me to read aloud every day with the other stuff I was doing. So tried that for a while and it didn't work so great, and so I just passed this off to my daughter, she was kind of ready to do stuff on her own at that time anyways, and so she did. And it has like, this is one of the parts of the book. This is for half a year. Will have extra stuff in it, like extra documents, letters, poems from that time frame, stories that you can read, just really good stuff. And it tells them in there, okay, read this in the We the People book now, and then there'll be questions and stuff and answers, and then it comes with this is the lesson review, and I think it also has a timeline with it, and so they can fill those out and they can write in the lesson review, or you can have them. I would often have them write it out on a notebook so we could reuse this for the other kids, which looks like she did write in there some. So that was really good. They have this one, and then they have From Adam to Us, and then I think they even have a government one now too that's for middle school, but we didn't use that one. So really good. Highly recommend that, especially if you have one that just kind of wants to go off and do their own thing instead of doing it as a group. So currently we are using this, The Mystery of History. We're doing this with our co-op, and so I've been reading the lessons aloud. It's usually just like 3 lessons a week, and it'll be they'll be a few pages long, and then they have in here review from the other lessons, which is really good, and they have tests, and then they have a lot of activities. So what they're doing is they're doing the activities at our co-op, and so we just read them. She's making timeline cards to go with her group there, and they go over those, and it's good. This one is from, let's see, Volume 1, Creation to the Resurrection. So they have multiple volumes of these, can carry you through several years, and it's also very great for if you're doing it with a family. You can read that with a family and then adapt the activities to the age range that you're working with. So that's a really good curriculum. It's very similar, I think, to Story of the World. I think I preferred Story of the World better, but they're both really great. So as we get into the high school years, I ended up going with the Knotgrass history again. This is the government and economics one, or this is the government one. They have economics also. This is half a semester, and then the economics is half a semester. They have American history, world history, and geography, and those are the 4 social studies that I have my kids do in high school. What I really like about this is it also comes with it comes with literature and Bible as well. So you can count this as 3 credits for them if they do everything in it. And so it's going to tell you here how to use the curriculum, what to do, and then it has, let's see, oh, this is the literature here. Is telling you which books you read, what go with what units. But it's going to even come over here and tell you. So it's got the introduction, it's got what books we're going to be using for this section, and the project. So the project, you can do a 300 to 500 page or 300 to 500 word paper on the different topics that they tell you to do, and it has a memorizing scripture, and then it has them reading these literature books, and they will go over different questions and stuff with the literature and things like that. So it's really good, like I said, because it can count as 3 credits for the whole year, and so that's really good. If you don't want them to do the literature and the stuff with it, you can just have them do the history. My kids, I feel like they really got a lot out of this. I think when you have your kids like go off and then they're doing their stuff and they come back and tell you, oh, I learned about this or whatever, you kind of know that it's a good curriculum and they're getting a lot out of it. And so it also has, let's see here. So here at the end, it'll tell you continue reading, mornings on horseback. The project is continue working on your project for Unit 1. And if you're using this resource, the student review you which questions to answer. So it also has this extra book like the middle school one did with extra stories and stuff in it that goes along with it. And then your quiz and review book or quiz and exam book, and then the answer key, and then same thing. This is the same thing with the economics one. So like I said, we just really enjoyed that. I was able to get a lot of the books. I didn't buy the literature books through them. I would just look it up on Thrift Books and get the books there. That's a great resource if you're not familiar. I'm going to put a link down below, and you can sign up for their reading rewards and get free books. And I usually order whatever books we need. I look there first because you can get books for $3 or $4 usually. And so I, instead of buying new, I like to buy it like through them, and I've been able to get lots of free books and stuff. And so these are just some of the books that we've just really liked over the years and have worked well for us. Also, just reading, just keeping them reading. I mean, you can see here, I've got a lot of these. I've got Rebecca readers that I've just collected. Like, a lot of times people will give me stuff, or I will buy them used. You can find this kind of stuff in used bookstores, and it just gives them a good resource, good foundation. The American Girl books, the historical figures, my girls read those, and I can always tell when they start talking about, oh, this was in so and so's time period. I really think it helps them develop that. Oh, this is when that happened during time, And so I think those are really good. We love to read like the Little House on the Prairie series and stuff like that, and you can kind of incorporate that into your history if you want to, from like if you're doing American history or whatever. So Christian book is where I order most of my stuff that I'm ordering new. I have for years and years and years. They will often send out coupons for free shipping over $35. They've got great prices. They have lots and lots of resources on there. I'm going to put a link to them down below. And then, like I said, Thrift Books. And also you want to look at your local homeschool stuff, homeschool groups. Sometimes they'll have in-person sales. Sometimes just on your local group you can post things for sale. Other people post things for sale. You can say, hey, I'm looking for this, who's got it, whatever. There's also a lot of marketplace groups on like Facebook and stuff that you can buy curriculum off of. I've done that before too. So those are some really good resources to look for. Most of all, just try different things out and have fun. See what works for you and your family. Like I said, there are so many resources out there. I actually grew up homeschooled, and there was resources out there, but not nearly as much as what's available now. And so you just have to figure out what works for your family and also adapt it to each child, because some things are going to work better for one child and it's not going to work as good for the other kids. And so you just kind of have to make that work. But I think just having them in an environment of learning is always a good thing, and they're going to be learning so much more than you think they are. So I hope this video helped you as you're trying to decide on curriculum, or maybe just looking at different options. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll be happy to try and answer them if I can. Thanks so much. Have a good day.